Guys, let's talk a little draft here. Being as though we are in downtown Detroit, you could see the NFL Draft Theater off in the distance.
Oh, I love that
and
sound.
not so much the player, but the position. And I feel like I was vindicated last year a lot, too, because I kept talking about running back at 6, running back at 6, running back at 6. It was the wrong running back, but nonetheless, it was the right position. I feel like that a little bit with Burkett, too. Burkett has done 3 mock drafts. Dave Burkett of the Detroit Free Press. 3 consecutive mock drafts. Each and every time, he has the Detroit Lions selecting an offensive lineman. Yeah. In this particular mock draft, he has offensive lineman Zach Frazier from West Virginia.
Down goes Frazier.
Here's the write-up that he has. For the 3rd straight time, I have an offensive lineman mocked to the Lions because I like the players and the fit. Had Darius Robinson and Cooper DeJean still been on the board, they'd make sense here as well. There are a couple of cornerbacks that I'd strongly consider. But ultimately, Brad Holmes is built through the trenches, and that's what the Lions do here. I do believe the Lions could, and we talked about it, trade up or trade back if they identify an offensive lineman that they want. Yeah. I believe it's easier to get a defensive back through trade, through free agency, through cap casualty during training camp than it is to get an offensive lineman that could be, an 8-year starter on your team. I think you ultimately have to do that through the draft.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This is a heavy-loaded offensive line draft, which means you're going to have first-round talent towards the back of the draft. You're going to have some really good offensive linemen. You heard Tim Twentyman, who came over yesterday.
Well, hold on, Braylon. Special delivery for you.
Appreciate that.
Andrew, thank you so much. Oh, this is for you, Braylon. Look at that.
You.
Oh, my gosh, the chicken sandwich.
I was on a diet until today.
Oh, my gosh. You got 2 fries, a strawberry shake.
Sheesh.
My goodness.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I forgot what I was going to say. But,
look what I got.
We had Tim Twentyman on yesterday.
Chocolate.
We had Tim Twentyman on yesterday, and he was talking about the DBs. He said once you get past maybe 4 DBs, it's a significant drop-off. That's not the case with the offensive line, so it makes sense that you would be able to draft one and feel really good about that pick that late. The other thing is this. Man, these fries are good.
Oh, good.
If you look at the offensive line for the Detroit Lions, look, you got Frank Ragnow. He's injured a lot lately. He's got the toe. He's got the ankle. He's got the knee. He's not going to be around forever. You look at Kevin Zeitler, Pro Bowler. Love him coming over from Baltimore Ravens. Great in the pass protection. Pretty good in the run blocking as well. He's in year 13, Maz.
Yep.
He's in year 13. And then Taylor Decker. He just had another procedure that we're just finding about now.
Ankle and foot.
Ankle and foot. So when you look at it from that point, you got guys that are injured. You got guys that are older. You got to protect yourself. What the Detroit Lions do best, Ryan Ermanni, what have you been telling me for the last 2 years? Their strength is the offensive line.
It's their not only their strength, it's their entire identity. Yeah. Everything that they have done in the last 18 months is because of the success of that offensive line and the health of that offensive line. And Brad Holmes talked yesterday as well, and I think this is an important point, Maz. Brad Holmes did not talk about a Super Bowl window. He did not want to refer to a window for the Super Bowl. What he is trying to do is build an operation that can win every year.
Yep.
Just sustained success.
Like the Ravens.
Player goes out, player comes in. Player goes out, player comes in. You don't miss a beat. And I think that is, when you make draft picks like this, when you draft an offensive lineman in round 1, it's not sexy. It probably will not get the big pop from the people in the audience, in the crowd on Thursday night, but it's how you win championships. And so I want you to react to that, but also my statement of I think it's easier to get a defensive back or a wide receiver by any other means but the draft than it is to go get an offensive lineman. I do think your offensive lineman must come through for the most part. Yeah. Guys are going to be with you for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years through the draft.
Well, let me ask you about the team picking behind the Lions are the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
Who does Dave have the Ravens taking?
An offensive lineman.
He does.
Amarius Mims, the offensive tackle from Georgia.
Now, that means, is McKinstry gone already? Is Kool-Aid McKinstry already taken at this point? He already said that Cooper DeJean was taken.
Cooper McKinstry is
Kool-Aid
McKinstry is not taken in the first round.
Oh, wow. So they're going to pass up on Kool-Aid? I doubt they do that.
Well,
they're taking a cornerback.
I have seen Kool-Aid McKinstry anywhere from 25 to 40.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then it really just comes down to, Braylon, the evaluation of the player.
Yeah.
But by the individual organization.
Yeah, 100%. And then when it comes down to the evaluation, then that's why you got to trust Brad Holmes. His evaluating skills have been off the charts for the past 3 years. But going back to that quote about the offensive line, it's not sexy. You know, drafting a big guy, he's not scoring touchdowns, he's not getting interceptions, he's not getting sacks, he's not throwing touchdowns. But what happens is, you know when it gets sexy? Is when you look at how good the offensive line was for the Detroit Lions last year. When you look at how good they were the year before that. When you watch Penei Sewell dominate ends. When you watch Taylor Decker when he played. When you watch Frank Ragnow when he's healthy, dominate. That's where it comes into play. So, yeah, it sucks in the moment because you want to get a touchdown or you want to get, you know, that excitement that has now become the NFL. You know what the excitement stems from is those big uglies blocking up front. So I'm all with it. Who's going to hit it?
I can't do a move here without Stick hitting me on the camera. I take a sip of my thing. He's got it locked right on me.
Oh, my God.
Stick's a big hit behind.
I mean,
big hit
Here you
behind.
go. Hey, here you go.
That is phenomenal. Pegged you.
Delicious.
Pegged you.
This son of a honestly.
But again,
all he cares about is getting me to do something wrong.
Hey, Maz,
Yeah.
but just back to who the Ravens are taking, right? They're taking an offensive lineman. One of the reasons why they're probably taking an offensive lineman is because Zeitler left. So they're thin there.
Yeah. But the thing is, Lamar Jackson is his own guy. He don't even really need an offensive line that good because he's going to be on the move.
Well, Derrick Henry is going to help with that, too.
Exactly.
I saw a stat that was crazy. It said in the last, I want to say 5 years, Derrick Henry, obviously most yards in the NFL, over a little over 8,000. Also, in that time span, Lamar Jackson is fourth with over 6,000 yards rushing. They're going to be fun to watch, man. And they're going to be fun to watch. But the only thing is, Derrick Henry, he's come up lame like 2-3 of the last 4 seasons. So is he done is going to be the big question.
You know, it's so hard to peg what you're going to do because I think
eating that sandwich.
I think most of us believe they're not picking at 29.
I think they're going up.
Do we agree on that? I mean, whether you believe they're going to trade up or trade back.
I agree.
I think if you had three scenarios, not likely, if you had 3 scenarios, trade up, stand pat, trade back, I think we would all rank stand pat third.
I rank it second.
You rank it second.
Yes. I do not think they're trading out of the first round. If anything, they're going up or they're staying at 29.
Okay.
And because their player has fell to them at 29. But if he sniffs guy that's going up a little bit higher, I'm telling you, he's going up to get him.
Ask me to rank them. I'm going stay is number 1.
Okay.
Trading back would be 2 for me, and then trading 1. Going back, the only thing is a question: how much could you get for the pick? That would be my question there. But I think staying is number 1, going back is 2, and then moving up would be 3.
You get that second round pick back.
100%.
Because remember, they traded their second round pick.
Earlier.
They traded their own second round pick.
Davenport.
They're keeping Minnesota's second round pick, which is higher. Because coming into this draft, Detroit did have 2 second round picks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. They have 4 in the top 92.
Yeah.
Now it's 3.
Right. Exactly. So
was that in the Carlton Davis trade?
That was in the Carlton Davis trade. That's exactly right. And they kept their higher third round pick.
Okay.
So
with that deal, they gave up a pick for a cornerback.
Yeah.
Right? They got a cornerback. That's why I'm thinking they need another guy to pair with him.
Yeah, okay.
You heard about Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph underwent hip surgery. Supposedly he's going to be ready for the regular season. So I hope so, but he was there.
Supposed to be ready for training camp.
Training camp. Hip. Yeah. I don't know what's up with the hip, but that's nothing to play around with.
No. He looked pretty good last night dancing.
In his uniform.
Yeah. He looked like he could move last night a lot.
Sorry. It's also, too, it's a difference in words. When you say surgery versus procedure, he had a hip procedure. When you say surgery, we instantly think of the worst. You think of Bo Jackson back in '88 on the sideline. More of a procedure versus a surgery. You say surgery, you think, he had a procedure. He'll be fine.